After many boring patches, mid lane has finally gotten massive changes. The meta has completely shifted up and all the top tier threats are gone. But before we move on to the tier list itself, I want to make a small announcement that all the future tier lists are going to be uploaded on my secondary channel, link in the description, because I want to keep my main channel raw educational content. Enjoy the video, boys. Mid lane is changing. For the first time in 2 months, mid lane's gotten a lot of changes in the patch, and we're really happy that that's the case because mid lane's gotten quite still. So all the top tier threats have been hit, and it was massively deserved. We're going to start off with the first top tier threat that we've been discussing every single patch because this champion is just right, doesn't know what to do with it. It's Azir. Now, funnily enough, right, what they're changing about Azir is that they are giving him, they're reducing a little bit of attack speed growth, and they're also taking away a little bit of this AP damage that they gave to him in the previous patch that he got buffed. So now what we're basically having is a bit of a trade-off of the base health increase versus the attack speed growth decrease. You're the expert here, AJ. Walk me through, what do you think?
Yeah, so I want to tie it back to a few patches ago when his AP ratio was at 60%. He was actually really hard to play in solo queue. He was like a 44% win rate. And I would say that flat HP is definitely worse than the attack speed growth, in my opinion, as a scaling mage. So I think his win rate is going to be really bad. And honestly, I would not recommend playing this champ in solo queue right now. He's not going to be rewarding enough because, again, AP ratio and attack speed, they multiply with each other, right? So his damage output is just going to be really noticeable as an Azir main. So this champ is going down a lot of tiers. I would not recommend people playing him right now at the moment.
C tier? Top of C tier?
Yeah, top of C, I think.
That's where we had him the last time as well, right?
Yep,
I think so as well. Azir just takes a massive hit, but we can't say it's not deserved.
Yeah.
Next up, one of my least favorite champions in the game, Annie.
Yep.
And I'm really happy that they're nerfing this because Annie is so annoying, right? She just right clicks you, she stat checks you, and she beats you or she doesn't. Now, of course, she has really bad wave clear. I am also not too happy if players play it for improvement purposes because she doesn't teach mid lane fundamentals all that well. But we're talking about her place in the tier list right now. She was top of S tier, and she's now getting hit in base damage on her W and a little bit of flat magic penetration on Tibbets. And it's quite heavy in the rank 1, and in the end, it doesn't matter when it comes to scaling, but she definitely got hit. What do you think about Annie? Where do you think she positions? What's your experience with this champ?
I'm gonna put her. I think right off the gate, I'm gonna say she's top of C, like Azir. And the reason why is that Annie is a stat check champion, right? Either you kill somebody in your combo or you don't. Either you win your all-in at level 6 or you don't, right? You do enough damage. So the thing is, like, even though they don't look like big nerfs, they are because like. There is no counterplay to the champion. So if she's not strong enough to stat check you, she sucks, right? Which I think that's where she should be. She shouldn't be strong enough to just stat check you without a lead. So I'm gonna put her at C. Like, I think in a good matchup where you can counterpick, she's still gonna be strong. But like, you're not gonna be able to just pick her into Ori and just be fine into Ori, in my opinion. Like she is right now. Like, I don't think that should be a thing, in my opinion. So I think she's getting a big nerf there.
Yeah, that makes sense because I think this number also lowers her wave clear breakpoint, as far as I know. And I like Annie being a little bit weaker. Annie in pro play is just something, or like high-low gameplay, it's just not something that I really like to see. So I think C's a stretch though. From S plus to C, I'm like, whoa! But
this is big
I can see it
man.
though.
Big nerves.
It's big nerves. And Annie's tendencies, she's either in or out. I can see that she is going to be a little bit more towards C tier.
Yeah.
Great. We got some heavy hitters here so far. I'm really happy with what Ryze's doing. Now, we're going to move on to a little bit of a change that I'm a bit less happy with. And that's one of my favorite champs, Aurora. Specifically, they nuked her early, or like her flat base percent max health damage. So this is just a flat out nerf already in the early game. They gave her extra scaling though. Specifically, 200 AP equals the amount of damage that she did before. So everything above 200 AP is a buff, everything below that is a nerf. So an early game nerf, a late game buff. I don't like the direction that they're going with Aurora. I think Aurora is, as an identity, a strong early game laner. I want her to be strong in the early lane, and it's fine if she's a bit weaker late. I'm not a big fan. I think it's an overall nerf for her. She was really good. I still think she's going to be good. I still think she's A tier, but definitely less good. What do you think?
I'm actually the opposite. I actually really like the way they nerf her
Ooh,
kit. Because
okay.
her passive is the least least interactive thing about her kit. Like, you can lane against Aurora, she can miss her Q and E and stand still and right click you, proc electrocute and her passive, and she'll win a trade, right? Like, she doesn't even need anything to activate her passive. Like you can literally just auto attack somebody to hold your abilities and then save them for the end and you win. So I think her passive is very little counterplay, whereas her Q and E do. So I like that nerf in terms of like you can actually have more counterplay against her now. And also, I also like this change because this prevents her from going to Leandri's build, right? Because that's a low AP
right.
and improve your base damage build, which I think is just really annoying, like a 3.5 HP Aurora running around. And actually, what I've already been doing before this patch is I've been rushing Shadow Flame, which is like, I get like 165 AP. So I'm almost already at that breakpoint again if you just rush Shadow Flame and you skip your mana item and you go Shadow Flame. And that's kind of more in line with, I think, what Aurora is designed to be. So I actually really like the way they nerf her, in my opinion. And yeah, I still think she'll be good. You just have to change your build. You got to go Shadow Flame first, in my opinion, to get that AP number ASAP. To get that you get to like 165 after your first item with Dark Seal.
Yeah, interesting, because I've been also running a lot of Aurora games, done my unranked masters on Aurora, and I've actually played the penetration or like the assassin build 90% of the times, because I think the build is just, it suits her a little bit more normally with the way she likes to play, especially in solo queue. Yeah. So I definitely recommend that, guys. Look, in that case, the nerf is not too bad, but I'm just the early game goblin, man. When I see early game nerfs, I'm just sad.
Yeah, I think what it's gonna mean is that you have to land your Qs more. You're gonna have to land your Q combo more, and you can't just sit there and auto attack them 3 times to proc your passive and just shit on them. So, yeah.
You like A tier? A tier is good, right?
Yeah, I mean, just real quick touching on that, I think she's going to be a little bit less versatile because I think the Leandry build will like suck now on her. Like, it's going to be really, really, really rough with how much less damage her passive does without AP. So it's going to be a little less versatile. So yeah, I think A makes sense.
Great. We're going to be moving on to Cassiopeia. Now, pretty small change. She's been due for a change, honestly. A small buff. What they do is they up the base damage for her E on later levels. So they up their DPS a little bit. It's not that much. And they give her a little bit more base mana. Now, I think the base mana is probably the best change out of these two here.
Yeah.
I think it's going to give her a little bit more early game flexibility. A lot of Cassio is also good tier level 1. They might just do something else right now. We'll see. I don't think it's going to change anything when it comes to her placement. I still think she's a counter pick. I don't think you still want to pick her into the likes of the Orianna, the Syndra. You're still going to struggle.
Yeah, this was interesting to me because she was already being picked in pro like game 3 as a counter pick into like Ryze and things like that. And 50 mana is an entire cast of your E in lane before your first base, right? That's an entire extra E that you're getting in lane. So what I'm thinking of all in, right? Like, let's say you're level 3 Cassio with 2 points in your E, right? Not only are you getting the base damage from your E, you're getting an extra E off because you have more mana. I think that's a pretty damn big change. Like, I think that'll move her up I think, in my opinion, I'll move her up 1 tier. So instead of C, I think bottom of B now would be where I'd place her. Because in some matchups where it's like you have that level 3 all in, that little bit of extra damage could make the difference. That could give you enough pressure to get you to your items, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because you actually do play on her mana, right? If I'm playing versus Cassio, I'm less playing on her HP, I'm more playing on her mana.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's fascinating because there's arguments that she's still just a counter pick, but maybe this is going to allow her to be blind picked and do better.
Yeah, I think she can have a little bit more matchups you could do a little bit better in, right? Like the matchups where it's really, really close, right? Where you're relying on, either Q poke, right, or that E all in a level 3, getting that like one more E, that could be a difference maker. That could be a big difference maker, especially if, like you said, you go D ring instead of tier as well. That will give you even more base damage as well.
Okay, I can see it. B is still not too crazy, and compared with other champs that are in B, I think she can.
I think if Kassadin is in B, I think Cassio should be in B, in my opinion.
We're gonna revisit Kassadin in a bit. Okay. Next up, Galio. Finally, honestly, this champ was too good for too long.
Way too good.
Holy moly, this champ was good. And no one abused him, so I understand they didn't get nerfed. They're going to give us a small hit on his AP ratio on the passive, which is quite large because you're using this quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then also on the Q.
That's
And
really big too.
it's really big. Percent per tick, by the way. This ticks multiple times. So in late game especially, this deals so much damage because of the amount of HP that there is in the game. I think it's a fair change, though. I think they hit him where they needed to hit him.
Yeah.
He still has the utility purposes, but he doesn't one-shot you or like take 70% of your HP with one.
Yeah.
This is legit what happened, by the way. If you have one item, a tank item, that Hollow Radiance, and you combo
get hit by his
someone,
E. You're doing like 70% of their health. Yeah. I played the game earlier. I was like in disbelief when I played Galio. Like I played that one game and I was like, how am I doing 70% of this Aurora's health in one combo?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now we had him in S tier. I still think that Galio is incredibly good. I still think he's
still doing his job. Yeah.
I still think he's S tier.
Yeah,
I still think.
I think the reason why I want to keep him in S is because the other champs around him are also getting reduced in power too, right? Like the Taliyah and the Azir and the Annie. Some of his competitors are also going down, so his relative power is still there. So yeah, I like him in S.
Yeah. The main matchup that you're really scared of right now as Galio is this blue man right here. This blue man is a problem. It's a really big problem.
I don't even think he got changed this patch, did he?
No, he did not get changed.
He might deserve a tier of his own, like at the top again. To be honest,
we're gonna be cooking with some teas, exactly.
Yeah.
So, next up we got ourselves Hwei. This is the fan favorite. They changed Hwei again. Now talking about extra tiers, right? We gotta talk about some of these changes that they're making here, because before we go into the exact changes, right? We gotta look at this patch preview of Hwei, what they changed to him back in the day, because I remember some similar changes being made not too long ago, in which that they
reduced the ratios.
Earlier this season they did the exact change here. Of course, they also reduced a little bit of base damage onto the QW, which you don't use that much. A little bit of base damage on the QE, which I think was fine. But this one, especially this passive, holy moly, that's a big change, because you proc that very often and it skills now a lot better because of the fact that you proc it so often. Compare it to the Azir W chain.
Yeah.
It's comparable. Not only that, he also gets more base move speed, more move speed per 100 HP, and slightly more E AP ratio, which I also think is fair. I like this direction of the buffs.
Yeah, me too.
But I think Hwei is really fucking strong right now. What do you think?
Yeah, so I'm always on and off with Hwei personally. I'll try not. I don't want to go into a big monologue, but I think Hwei still feels a little rough into the other mages. Like I even asked Loki, right, who's C9's. He's a Korean. Like rank 1, I think he was like rank 3. I asked him like, what does he think about Hwei? And he's like, you can't blind pick that champ, you'll lose the Ori and Victor, is what he told me. He literally told me that. And so the problem I have with Hwei is like, I think in a vacuum he's like he's good, but he just loses lane to these Oris and Syndras and Victors, and you need this is exactly what he told me. You need to land one full combo. So at Masters Plus, it can be really hard actually to land your full rotation this way. Like landing that E is actually not that easy. So I think this is a step in the right direction. So it makes it even more rewarding when you land that one combo, but it's still kind of difficult to land one full rotation to get that lane control. So yes, I do think this will make him a lot better. Like his mid-game scaling is kind of his weak point. Like I don't understand why he had such bad scaling. So having it scaling increase is really big changes. What I'm worried about is that this is going to be a bot lane skewed buff, because a AP ratio on the passive and the E, where are you proccing multiple passive procs? It's in bot lane, right? Where are you proccing your E, hitting multiple people with your E? That's a bot lane. So what I'm worried about is that this is going to be a bot lane skewed buff, right? And they're going to choose something to Hwei to like reduce his power again, and then it's going to be rough. But yes, I do think this is a net buff for him in mid. I do think he'll be a little bit better in mid, but honestly, he's probably just going to be picked even more in bot now with this buff, the way I see it.
Yeah, fascinating. Because if we're really thinking about what tier are we actually looking at, and when I saw these buffs, especially if I compare them to the nerfs that they did earlier this year when he was really, really good, I think that if I see these numbers the way that I'm seeing them right now, to me, it looks like bottom S.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I might be getting a bit bold here. And I know the way mains are going to love me for this one. I think he's bottom S.
Whoa.
Yes.
Look, I'm not blaming myself. That's the most paid control mage I play, and I can't see it. I don't think S. I can't see S, man. Not yet. Like because that means you're saying he's as powerful as Ryze. Like he would be as powerful as Ryze last patch, right? I don't see that. There's no way.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be strong, dude. I think he's gonna be strong.
Nah, I think top of A. I can see top of A. Like I definitely think he could be better than Victor. I don't know about S yet. I can't see it in S. Look, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But for mid specifically, I can't see that. I can't see it.
Okay, guys. For next episode, we're gonna be put on the Hwei watch. All right. We're gonna put it conservatively because that's
yeah. I want to be wrong. Look, listen, I want to be wrong. I want him to be a really OP mid and like just be the best mid. I would love that. But I need to be realistic here. Like I think not yet. Not quite yet.
We're gonna keep the Hwei watch on, guys. Next episode is gonna be a banger when it comes to Hwei. Okay, great. So Jayce, I love this change. This is so good what they're doing. Holy moly. Many of you may know, but Jayce is one of my favorite champs. This is my AD mid to pick. And I think that they gave him the best buff that they could have given him. Jayce has no problem when it comes to scaling. Jayce level 7 and onwards is crazy good because of all the numbers that he's getting in his queue. And I want you guys to see that the base damage increases that he always had each level was exponential in this champ. He got so much base damage, but now he gets even more base damage in the early game where the base damage was really low. Yeah. This was Jayce's weakest part of the lane. Yeah. Versus mages, he got kind of stat checked unless he took like electrocute bullshit page. Yeah. But right now, he's going to be stronger to punish the champs that are punishable. And he's going to be able to play a lot better into these mages because his Q is his longest range trading tool that if you time it properly with last hits, you can actually land it. You can deal some damage. This is fantastic. I love this change.
Really big change. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. I personally think that Jayce already, I've seen some play of Jayce. I don't think he's terrible. It really is just how good is he right now. Personally, I put him bottom of A. I don't think I'm comfortable putting him as S.
No way S. I think A. I think A is great for him.
Yep. But he's also not B. He's just definitely better than B.
No, yeah, he's definitely better than B. And I think something that's really important is that the way you trade with Jayce at higher levels of play against these mages is you try to fight level 1. Like when I watch Vladdy play, he like runs up to somebody level 1 and he tries to trade. Same with Chovy against these mages. So getting a 33% base damage increase on your Q, on your range Q, that's big for getting lane control early game. And like you said, he has really good AD ratios in his kit. So base damage increase will just make it so you can get to your AD ratios better, right? And get to your items better. So yeah, I love this change a lot for Jayce. Very exciting. Really cool.
Next up, we got ourselves Qiyana. Thank God. I've been banning this champion permanently, by the way. I still think she's going to be OP. You're just going to put it out. It is a jungle-centric nerf. She's still going to be OP in jungle. But they definitely hit her a little bit harder in mid lane. And I'm glad that they at least hit her. We had her in A tier. What do you think of these changes? Because they reduce a little bit of bonus AD, a little bit of base AD. But I think they also gave her like a lot of base damage in her Q and some attack speed. So I also think that this was a little bit fake. Yeah, this is probably the most important change here. What do you think of Qiyana?
I think for mid it's still gonna be the same, right? Because like AD growth change or like base AD is a lot more important in jungle because I think that's gonna change the way she clears, right? Like that's definitely gonna reduce the speed of her clear. I mean, like Ryze said in the description, she was way too strong, probably one of the best champs in the game. Like she was already good before any of these buffs, and then the lethality items got buffed and her kit got buffed. So I still think she's gonna be in a strong position. This just like evens it back. Maybe she's still even ahead compared to like 3 patches ago, right? Before any of the changes. So I still think she's still ahead of the curve. I still think she's quite good. Yeah, she does have way more weaknesses in mid than in jungle, but she always has like decent scaling. She's a unique assassin. I think she's still gonna be in A, right? I think she's very similar to like a champ like Zed, in my opinion.
I'm still betting her, by the way. I'm still not playing versus Qiyana. Fuck that shit. Cool. Now, Silas didn't really get any mid-specific changes, but Sylas also was quite strong in the jungle. So they're slightly hitting him there. I think it's fair. I think for mid lane, it doesn't change much. I'd love to give him, if I would be on the patch team, I would give him like a small mid lane buff to incentivize people playing this champion on mid, because I think that's where we want to see him.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I
he
think
just sucks in the meta for mid right now. Right,
yeah.
that's the big problem. Like, you can't play against Ryze or Galio. Those matchups are absolutely terrible.
Or he can be brutal sometimes as well.
Even more, he can be brutal. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like him in A. I mean, I will say this monster damage nerf is technically a mid nerf by a little bit, because it makes it harder to clear camps in mid game, which is actually relevant. Like, I don't want you guys to like scoff at that. That is like actually important in mid game to be able to farm jungle camps as a mid lane champion to accelerate yourself. So that is actually a little bit of a hit, but yeah, I still think he'll be this borderline the same, especially in lane as a mid laner.
Yep, that's right. Now we're gonna talk some juice here, because Taliyah has some juice.
Finally, man. That's all.
This champ was literally top of the top for patches and patches on him. I remember his first stand where they picked Taliyah like permanently, no?
Literally last year. It's been since last year. Like,
since
literally
last year?
Like, because I've been playing competitive for a few years. Literally for the past year and a half, it's been, hey, can you play Taliyah, AJ? Yes or no? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll play Taliyah, because we have to first pick that champ if it's up. That's how broken she is. And it's been like this for like a year and a half, I think, at this point. It's been ridiculous. Like, I'm done with the champion, honestly. I'm done with the champ.
So, what they exactly changed, right, is they reduced some mana costs on Q. That's quite large, because her mana costs in the first few levels were quite rough. But they reduced a little bit of the base damage right here on the Q, which of course hurts a little bit. And the E also gets mana reduced, but once again, the base damage gets slightly nuked. A little bit more monster damage modifiers to keep the jungle Taliyah the same. So basically what they're doing, right, is they are lowering mana costs and lowering damage. So this is a noob-friendly Taliyah change.
Yes.
That's how I want to put it, because you now can be a little bit more free with how you use your spells without getting punished for being And for the pro players, they're really good at using their spells. They get hit a little bit because of the fact that the damage is a little bit lower. Now, the damage is a little bit lower. It's not marginally lower. When I look at this, I see some base damage changes that are definitely relevant, but I don't think groundbreaking by any means. To me, Taliyah still looks fine.
Yeah, so when I look at this, I think the main thing they're trying to do is get people away from Archangels, right? Because something very unique about Taliyah is that her mana costs, even in mid-game, are so big that you kind of need to go Archangels or you're going to run out of mana, because it's the most mana Lost Chapter item. So I think their goal with this change is to get her away from the durability builds and like be excited about going Ludens and Blackfire Torch, because you don't need that massive mana pool that Archangels gave, right? And also, because she's a mid-range champion, durability items are exponentially better on her, right? Because you need to get in range. So they're making it harder to play, right? Because if you go Blackfire Torch, you don't have the Archangel Shield, right? So
which is big for Taliyah.
Yeah, exactly. So I still think she's gonna be very good. I still think she's gonna be S. But the way you're going to play her might be a little different. Like, you might want to go to offset the base damage nerfs, because her base damage is already bad, honestly, beforehand. That's even worse, right? So to offset that, like, you do kind of want to go maybe a Ludens or Blackfire now. And, like, that could be a viable option on her. And that's going to change the way she plays, right? You're going to be a little bit more squishy. That's just the reality. So that's how I see it. I still think she'll be really good, just different, right? Just different.
Yep. Look, I honestly don't mind Taliyah being in the meta. I think she has some pretty unique play patterns, but I don't think they're super problematic. Yes, her ult can sometimes be frustrating to play versus, but I also think that she fills a really nice niche. And every single time I play versus, I never have the idea like I can't play the game. I always feel like I can play the game, and that's a good thing. So I like her. Now Vel'Koz. Now we've had some Vel'Koz discussions lately.
Yeah.
They changed the E a little bit in that the base cooldown is down by 2 seconds. That's a very good change, actually, for this champion. And they increased the base damage of the ult, which I think is fair because it's later in the game. They don't increase it level 1, which I think is stupidly high already.
Yeah.
Vel'Koz ult can kill you from 60% HP if you're not careful. And in the late game, it's a little bit more of a risky ability to use because you're standing still yourself stun. So I think this is fine. This looks totally fair to me. Now, Vel'Koz, we already discussed it a few times.
Yeah,
I think we went in depth on it last patch.
Yeah,
right?
go watch the last one if you're curious about our Vel'Koz analysis.
That's right. Vel'Koz has problems, especially in higher ranks. He struggles to side lane. It's really easy to just dodge the skill shots, right?
Yeah.
And I think Vel'Koz, the changes that they do, they will definitely help him, but I don't think it's going to warp him anywhere else.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think these are great buffs. Like, the champion is still gonna do a lot of damage, right? Like, his strengths are the same, his weaknesses are the same. He's just a big, like, just damage pumper. That's what he's designed to do, right? Long range damage champion. Not very good for high elo meta still, so I think he's still gonna be C tier. Like, I don't think that's gonna make him go up a tier. But do keep your radar slightly on Vel'Koz, because if we do get non-champion related changes, like fundamental changes to the way you play mid lane, right? Like, something changes about the meta, then maybe these artillery mages could go up a tier, because these champions themselves are not bad. It's their environment, if that makes sense. Like, they just can't adapt to their environment. Like, that's just the one piece I'll say about these artillery mages. Yeah. So yeah, like, I think Vel'Koz is, I think the champion itself is okay. It's just the environment is not great for him.
Yeah, and there's been some buffs to all of these artillery mages, right?
Yes,
the Ziggs got some buffs, the Seraph got some buffs.
Kog'Maw, all 4 of them, yeah.
We might see some interesting stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's for bot lane as well. This bot lane, Vel'Koz is going to be a lot stronger right now.
Yeah, the E cooldown is nice for bot lane, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, that's it when it comes to the mid changes. We, in the comments, had some questions about some champions that we're going to be going a little bit deeper upon. And one of these was Kennen. Now, I'm going to be really honest. I have not seen a single Kennen mid anymore. And we had the question, what about Kennen mid? We had it in B tier previously. But I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to remove it because I've not seen the champion. I think the champ can function on mid. It has its niche. Of course, if people don't understand how to verse it and you can chase it down a long lane, get some kills with Ignite, strong champion, great stuff, great ultimate, nothing wrong with the champ. Yeah. I just don't see it as a mid laner. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think when we first added Kennen to the list, it was like 4 or 5 or 6 tier lists ago, or 7. It was a while ago. We did talk about Kennen then, and that was like the only time we actually talked about him. And it was based off of what was the name? Spencer or something?
Yeah, Splinter.
Splinter. The rank 3 guy who got to Korea rank 3 from EU. And the thing is with Kennen is, he's just gimmicky, right? Like, it's not like he doesn't have tools. It's just specific tools. It's very gimmicky. So I don't think he's fit for a mid lane tier list, because, like, if you want to play Kennen mid, you're just going to develop unique skills to Kennen mid. So that's not to say he's bad. And if we were to tier him, I would still leave him in B. I just don't think he's fit to be in a mid lane tier list, because he doesn't really play like how a mid laner should play. Like, it's very cheesy, very gimmicky, catch people off guard. So yeah, that's kind of how I view him right now.
Rip Kennen.
Yeah.
Okay. Morgana. So Morgana used to be one of these champs that we would argue the exact same way as Kennen about.
Yeah.
She's not really a mid laner. She is really unique how she approaches fundamentals. She does not lane. There's very little trading going on. Just nuke the wave. But the thing is that she is now at such a power level that she's even got a picked in pro. That I think it's worth for us discussing.
Worth mentioning, at least. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I think she's decent, honestly. Like, she's unique. I don't think she has necessarily super bad matchups. I don't think she has super good matchup. She has a few good ones versus like Annie, I think. Annie, like, she nukes it with the spell shield and the wave clear.
Yeah.
She just kind of is Morgana and pushes waves.
Yeah.
I think she's B tier.
B. I would put her in C, personally.
Okay.
Because if you think about why she was picked in pro, she's picked very specifically to counterpick specific matchups, right? I think they played it against Annie, and there's some other mage they played it against, some weak mage, or like some mage that's like a burst mage.
Yeah.
Those are like the 2 times I saw it. So I think she makes total sense to see. Like, she's the definition of a C tier champ, in my opinion. Like, because she has such pronounced strengths and such pronounced weaknesses, she's like designed to be picked in the right game, right? Like I think if you're against that burst mage mid, like she's gonna be good. If you're not against that, like it's gonna be really awkward to play. Like her R is like really awkward with how much dashes are in the game, right? So yeah, I think she's C tier personally, especially with Annie going down too, which would be the classic.
Yeah. So it's hard for me to argue, right? Because I've not seen this champ at all.
Yeah.
It's just pure speculation. So
Yeah.
look, I think that yours is grounded pretty well. So I'm happy to put it in C tier.
Yeah, put it in C, and if we don't see her, we'll probably just remove her, honestly.
Yeah, we're just going to remove her again.
It's important we're just mentioning her now, because she was picked in Pro at least, so it's worth the mention, for sure.
Yep. Now we're going to move on to Lissandra. Another beautiful definition of a C tier champion.
Yep.
Because we had some questions about this. So why is Lissandra in C tier? Well, you can't really blind Lissandra. If you pick Lissandra into any of the stronger mages, you're going to have the worst time of your life ever in the lane. Yep. You need to have good multi-threat on your jungle role. Otherwise, you're going to be an absolute victim in the isolated 1v1. With too short range, cooldowns are not good enough. Abilities are not good enough at pressuring the enemy laner. Unless you're in a really favorable matchup. So Lissandra, counter pick tier.
Yep, now, she's the definition of, just to talk on this one a little bit. She's like the definition of like reliance. You're reliant on external factors, not related to the champion itself to function, all right? So you're against a melee champion that you can get your spells off constantly and CC them constantly. Great. You have a Viego on your team or something that can follow up on your setup, right? It does damage. Great. But if you don't have those things, your champion cannot function. So she's not, again, it's not that she's a weak champion. She's reliant on specific factors in the game, not in your control. So she's not allowed to be anything above C right now, right? Her kit does not enable her to just be played in a solid amount of games. You need to be in the specific game for it to work.
Okay, Kassadin, final one. We put it on the Kassadin watch, the last tier list.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a bit of a Kassadin double checkup, and it seems like he's doing all right in Emerald Plus. Let's see how he's doing in Master Plus. He is doing pretty all right in Master Plus.
Yeah.
So we had some different opinions. I think you put him in B. I wanted to put him in A tier last time.
Yeah.
I've seen some Kassadin, and look at that. People have adopted the new build. Hey, we're making waves here. We're making waves.
Actually though. Yeah.
That's great. That's actually great. So Kassadin, I think he's gotten to a position where I can say confidently that in solo queue, he can win games. I feel like this champ is strong. And I want to double up on what I said last time and put him in A tier. I've seen him quite a bit as well.
Okay. I can't really comment because I haven't seen him at all. Like on my Challenger account, I'm not seeing him a little bit. On my GM account, I'm not seeing him a little bit. And yeah, like I'm just thinking I'd probably just pick a best end him, and I don't see how he's gonna play personally for me. So I'm very biased in that sense. The combination of I have good champs to play in them, and I don't see him. So for me personally, I'd probably still leave him in B just because I haven't seen him. But if you've seen him and you've seen him do well, then I think A is totally reasonable as well.
Yeah, I've seen some Kassadins take over, but right, this is once again, it's still a controversial one. It's still Kassadin we're talking about, you know?
Yeah.
It's still the champ that if you just mess up a little bit or you get behind, there's just this chance where the first 14 to 20 minutes in the game, you're going to have zero impact.
Yeah.
And especially in higher games, that can go really fast. So I want to hear the opinions of you guys in the comments. What do you guys think of Kassadin? How are you guys experiencing? So we can also take your guys' all our data and use it for our tier list here. Now, if there's any other champions that you guys want us to discuss in our next tier list, let it know in the comments. AJ, is there anything you want to conclude this tier list with here?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Ryze. I think Ryze is the absolute best mid on the patch right now, and it's not even close. I think he deserves. We had him in his own tier before. I think he deserves his own tier again. To be honest, I think he's that much better than every other mid right now. Like he didn't get touched again for some reason. Like they really want Faker to win Worlds. I think like that must be the reason. I don't understand. This champ has been like beyond broken for like 5 patches in a row. Every other good mid has been nerfed except for him, and he's just still king. Like I don't understand. So yeah. Anyway, that was my spiel about Ryze. He deserves his own tier. for sure.
Love that. Yeah, Ryze is really fucking good. He can do a really good job versus these matchups because he can just minimize really well
Yeah.
with his fast wave clear, catalyst. Side laning is the epitome of the matchup right now. He's insanely strong. Perfect. So cast him, put him in A right now. Lovely little tier list. If you guys have any other questions, right, or any other comments, let us know in the comments. We'll get back to that in the next tier list.